we go. The first Thursday of the month, and
And yeah, summer's officially the 21st, but when you're the kid of school teachers, as soon as school is out, it's vacation time. So I cleared out my inbox last night, and this morning I was like, okay, summer, I'm here. Let's go for a walk. Let's be outside. Let's have fun. Yeah.
I just can't believe how ironic. The first Thursday of the month, it's the first day of June. This month was meant for Alton Little Theater.
It was meant for Alton Little. The whole summer. The whole summer is meant for Alton Little Theater. You got to come.
I'm excited. So Lee and I were talking, and I built this theater Thursday because I knew we were kind of we talked about this coming. This was like the low period, but I said, this is the calm before the storm. That's what I told people all week. Because you guys, once really the 19th hits, you are nonstop.
Oh, exactly. In fact, we were at Applebee's, which is our Cheers place last night. I'm giving them a plug. But they were like, where have you guys been? I said, we only were gone for 7 days. They're like, but you have people here every night. And I said, oh, just wait. As soon as Spamalot opens, then it just goes the entire year. Somebody will come here after rehearsal every night.
Applebee's is gonna start sending people out looking for you. Where are you?
Where are they? We even have a table that they engraved underneath, so nobody can see it, but it says ALT's table.
That's incredible.
They're the only place open late where you can get libations and food. That's part of it.
Well, that's my issue. I was, this is a great story. I had Ray Hartman over here, and he was wanting to see Alton, and I said, yeah, I'll take you to Johnson's, whatever. That's my go-to. We got up there, and getting some drinks, and I forgot that it's Thursday night, and the kitchen closes at 9. So then you're going over to Max, and then
everybody's kitchen closes early. I know. I'm like, we have checked it out. I mean, we really try and support everybody in the town, but when the kitchen closes, we're like, after rehearsal, because you don't want to eat before you go and dance and jump around and do everything at rehearsal. So we usually get snacks and one drink. We're not heavy drinkers, but just ice water. Even last night I had 2 glasses of ice water. It was a big rehearsal.
Oh man. Well, and too, I'm telling you what, this is a big show. I mean, you guys are the decorations and the decor of the set. I was talking to Mike. I got to bring this up again. We were talking to Mike well yesterday, and I was talking about this Trojan horse.
The Trojan rabbit, yes.
So he and I are just more under the impression of we just want to go see this thing.
Well, good. Well, Kevin has built it, and, it not only has to be big, but it has to fit somewhere to be stored and then come on the set, because everything has to come in the little openings of the castle. But yeah, it's the craziest show. I mean, 24 actors, but 115 costumes. So they're constantly changing, so everybody gets to know each other really well. And then the prop list was single space, 2 solid pages with some of the strangest things. I mean, I love doing props, but I'm like, where am I going to get a life-size stuffed cow that has to fly? Where? Well, in Kansas City, I found one. And they're shipping it to me.
Overnight?
I don't know overnight, but I think that would be more. The shipping was as much as the cow.
Now, that's impressive in itself. What's the most unique prop you've ever had on the stage at Alton Little Theater?
Oh, gosh. Well, in the glass menagerie, this is just what pops into mind. She collects all of these delicate glass animals, and it has to crash during the show and break. So that's not only a dangerous thing, that's a very expensive thing. If any people have traveled, even the truck stops and places like that, they will have all these little china and glass animals. So I spent an entire summer looking for those, but we had to have doubles and triplicates. So this little bitty table had hundreds of dollars of those little animals that every night I was like, could we only break 2? 2? Could we only break 3? Could we try? And then I got enough that there was one left for everybody in the cast to take one home.
Oh, that's cool.
I still have mine, and that was like many, many years ago, 17 years ago. But that was just, I mean, sometimes playwrights, I'm like, they have a mean streak. I'm like, what are we supposed to do with this? But in a musical and on a big stage, everything has to be oversized.
Yep.
You know, it for the audience to really see it and enjoy it. But then sometimes the joke in Spamalot, when they do the bottle dance, they make a big deal about it, and the hats are big, but the bottles are little, and they act like, oh, I can barely balance. And it's really on a magnet, you know, it works.
Well, speaking of the set and all the making it work and making it bigger so everyone can enjoy it and really be immersed, Kevin's also got to make it to where he can break it down and get it off the stage afterwards, too.
Oh, absolutely. And in fact, yesterday I told you we talked to Circus Kaput, and
I'm
they're
excited.
coming on August 12th. And so the whole set has to be totally cleared and clean. We don't think they can bring their aerial act. We were measuring, and our lights are just too down.
Didn't you just put that grid in, too?
Yes, we did. We have 3 grids up, and the projection grid and everything else. But they've got jugglers and magicians and cyclists and all these things. It's a big tent. Some people have probably seen it over by the Fox Theater and thought, what is that?
Yeah.
It's this wonderful troupe of performers that just loves to bring the circus to nonprofits and small communities. So they're going to pack it up and bring it over to us, because we wanted the fun to keep going for the summer for all of our families. We've got the youth classes, we've got Spamalot, and now we're going to have Circus Kaput.
How about that? I couldn't tell people we were going to break news this morning, but this is going to be a big deal. This is fun.
Yes.
It adds a whole new component to what you guys do, because, you know, if you think about it, and I believe it or not, this is a scary thing for the listeners. I get at home, you know, you're sitting and I just think about things, and I was going, you know, for everything to be successful for 90 years, there's a formula, whether it's, you know, the stage, the cast and crew, the decor, the props,
Right.
the thing. And then it's these community events like this to where
Yeah.
it's a little bit different, but it's still in the same realm of what you guys are all about. And this is a
Yes.
great thing. And for somebody who hasn't seen this before, what can they expect just kind of hitting this little preview?
Well, I'll know more about it probably when we talk, because I'll admit, I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
I got put in touch with it. I actually heard about it through the St. Louis Task Force, but I didn't have a contact.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd seen it as a distance, and I thought about it, and I thought I'd take my own grandkids, you know, when they were in town. But I talked to them, and they just sound fabulous. So they're sending me more stuff, and they sent me the contract and everything, and it's very reasonable. They really want to reach nonprofits and small communities, probably with the hope that people will come see their full show. But again, a lot of families are not going to be able to afford 4 or 5 tickets for those St. Louis prices. But I think having something right before school starts and something fun, and yeah, we were joking about, we have ice cream, we have lemonade, we try and make it. He's like, do you have popcorn? I'm like, well, we have it, but maybe we could. I'm sure I could. He was working on a snow cone machine when I talked to him. I thought, that's a little too messy. I'm not sure on our new seats we want to have snow cones. But I said, we'll have a lot of fun refreshments just for the youth and families.
Hey, you guys want a corn syrup accent, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like cotton candy, sugar everywhere, yeah.
But to me, this is so cool, and this is why I'm so glad that we came in and started doing these segments,
Yes.
because you guys really are a community organization.
We do try. And again, you know, growing up, it wasn't always so kid friendly because it was formed by school teachers. And now I understand. I didn't as a kid, but now I understand they're tired of hearing children, and they didn't want to hear children, and they wanted to get away from children.
Right.
They wanted to have their adult life. And that was great at the time. But to serve the community, we need to introduce people
Yep.
to the arts early.
Yep.
If they do and have happy memories, they'll come back. And of course, in Spamalot, we have a fairly youthful cast, not King Arthur. he's pretty old. But just watching, we had our first big dance rehearsal last night.
How'd it go?
It was so much fun.
Good.
It's the slapping fish number. And so again, on top of everything else, I'm like, well, let's see, I need 22 medium-sized fish and 2 big fish.
Are these, so I'm going to ask I don't know. I ask stupid questions, but sometimes they lead to great results. Are these real fish?
No, they're
okay.
no, they're rubber. Oh my God.
I had to ask. You never know.
Oh God, yes. But they look real. They look real.
See, all I go back to is, because with theater, it's so much similar to wrestling, because you're getting ready for things and you're doing all this stuff. And all I can think about is I'd be the guy that pulls a rib and puts a real fish out there one day. And then I get ran out of the theater.
You would, because the girls first get slapped and spin around. But then the girls pull out the big fish and whack the guy. So believe me, if you whacked anybody with a real fish, they'd be coming after you.
It's on.
Not to mention, I'd be like, don't get it on the costumes.
Oh,
they're rented. They're rented.
Well, and that's another thing. I mean, is that nerve-wracking when you're doing rehearsals because you're renting these costumes? You got a couple of weeks. Does that ever bother you, or is that just part of the show at this point, part of the process?
Well, that's part of my job to watch and see what will work. I mean, it gets down to sometimes undergarments. We spent a lot of time talking about undergarments, particularly in this show, because it's like the sight lines. I mean, the cheerleaders have the strangest outfits on. They're really cute, really cute. But I was like, ooh, what can they wear under that? That's a little protective. And then, there's lots of things that letters appear on underwear and things have. So we have to have it covered and yet, be noticeable. You just try getting a letter big enough on your bottom that everybody could see from the last row. You just try that out.
I don't know how, and that's the thing. And that's the thing that's so unique about this and so cool, because there's so many aspects that you guys pull out to really put us in the whole experience, and it's one of those, you guys, I'm sure, could done the show at, half the cost of the set, and, but you guys never do that. You guys do it the right way. And to me, we talked about St. Louis pricing, and, for $50, you get to park near the stadium. Right. Or for $20, you'll walk through 3 miles of hopefully not getting, mugged. Right. And then for like the Fox and all those, it's, okay, it's cool. It's a nice theater, but good luck. Like you said, getting a family of 4 in there you can't.
And getting good seats.
Yeah, because what are you looking at? You're looking at least $450 for 4 people.
And when you spend $8,000 at least on royalties and then the musical tracks, you don't want to then be chintzy, because you and I have talked. I know people think, oh my gosh, they got to be making tons of money because it's full. It's like musicals actually don't make us very much money, but they bring people in and they bring new people in. Yeah. And hopefully those people say, well, let's try another show, and then let's come to 2. And if they come to 2, they'll say, I can see 5 or 6 shows for what I would pay for 1 show in St. Louis. So,
and it's great content. It's not, something where you got to fake it to get through and go, oh, well, that was cool. Like the mom seeing the drawing from kindergarten class. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's so cute, honey.
Let's put it on the fridge. On the back. But you guys have some of the best performers around the region coming in and doing these.
And we have been blessed, and they're really nice people. Yep. We have met these wonderful people, and some of them are gypsies. They perform for various groups, and that's totally fine. But we still keep in touch, and I have a master contact list if there's a perfect part or something we want to look for. But I think, and they've told us, they really, really enjoy doing musicals at Alton Little Theater. In fact, Our Lady of the Lake is a pretty famous burlesque actress in St. Louis, and her only thing, she works Friday, Saturday, and Sundays, and so she has to take off, find a replacement at her cost for her job just to be in the show. Wow. But her voice, her costume, she's done Spamalot songs in concert. She just blew everybody away. And her only request of me is, can I have blue hair? And I'm like, sure you can. I can give you blue hair. And she's like, could I have blonde hair that's tall? Yeah, I can do that too. I'll do
There
anything.
you go. And that's what I think is just so amazing about this. I mean, it's one of those things. If you guys, God forbid, weren't here one day, we'd all be really missing it because you guys do so much. And to have this just really a gym in Alton,
thank
and I
you.
mean that. I mean, this is so cool. And I'm telling you what, talking about nicest people. We were doing the first time, doing this, seeing how we format the interview stuff and how it looks with Ding Dong, and so many great people weighing in and saying thank you. That was great and loved it. And well, I was talking to the woman that played the maid. And,
Oh, yeah.
Well, we were talking, and just to hear you guys should have heard the cast during the intermission of the rehearsal, and they're all kind of just talking back and forth. But the camaraderie between the performer, the director, the technicians, all of that is so much there, and then some over.
Well, because again, you have to have that comfort and help them be comfortable, and that's why directing you need to have your vision and be firm, but you have to be kind.
Yeah.
There are a few directors out there who still scream at people, and we don't get that. We talked last time about, and we don't charge people to be on our stage.
That drives me nuts.
Yeah, they go through enough just to get there, paying the gas and time away from their families. We're so appreciative of that, and we try and feed them. Although I think I told you for this one, Godfrey Meat Market, I said I have all of these hungry guys. I cannot cook this feast for 40 people and do lights and costumes. So please, Ian, please cook dinner. His son's in the show. He has one of the leads. So
I'm telling you what, Godfrey Meat Market's lunch, they have the best lunch special in the area. Tastes great too. But I wanted to ask
meat. See, I said, could we have 2 meats?
Oh, there you go.
I need food for these people.
And this is what's so cool. It's those aspects to me that I think just make you guys really, you can't put a price tag on it because, the after show meals and all those things that, tell you guys this, even in pro wrestling, it's the same thing. Some shows you have to pay $40 to work, and it's like, wait a minute, why am I paying you to go perform? Why am I doing? But to have something to where you're really bringing some dinner and you're doing all these really cool things is amazing. And this this circus that's coming up, you have the youth actors courses that were filled up about as quick as they could have filled up.
Oh, I know, and I'm hoping that's gonna, stay and be a mainstay. I mean, we did have a waiting list, and we've taken 2 people off the waiting list because of conflicts that other kids had with sports and things, but we could have filled it up. 2 more classes, but we couldn't find the time in the day. In fact, the costumer was like, can you pop over and look at the poll? And I said, well, let's see. You're closed on Mondays, and we teach on Tuesdays and Thursdays. All right, let's look and see if we have a Wednesday or Friday morning because we have to be back from Charleston at night. It gets a little crazy sometimes.
I don't think anyone realizes how much you guys work, and you have to really love what you're doing to keep this out because you're working. Everyone talks about a 40-hour work week, and that's all I needed to say for a little chuckle. That was just my point proven right there. You're like, give me the 40-hour work week.
But you do have to love it, and people have a passion for it. But Kevin and I both laugh because you get to a certain age and you go on Medicare, and then people will offer you all these free services, and I'm like, well, you'd have to come to my work if you want to catch me because I'm never home. So,
that is for sure.
And I do take, vitamin D, all my vitamins.
You got your zinc in you too.
I got my zinc in me. I got all my vitamins in me, but otherwise I'm just fine.
I just think this is great. And so I was going to ask you last time, when did the 90th officially kick off? Was it
today?
Is it today?
Yeah, our fiscal year was based on school teachers' year. Oh. So, sometimes it runs over, but the school year never went past May 31st in my day. And so our fiscal year is June 1st to May 31st. So we are officially in the 90th season. We start promoting it in March so people get early bird prices and see what's coming up. But it's official today.
Look at that. We'll play some celebration for you. 90th season. How about that? But, with that...
But I've only been there 70 years. Not 90. I'm not 90.
With that being said, though, that's what I think. So, and by the way, see, I was getting out of school like the first week of May. By the end of my senior, it seems like it's getting shorter and shorter each time.
Well, the state sets how many hours you have to have, and it depends on snow days. But we don't do snow the way we used to do.
No, we do not.
No, not at all.
So, what are your feelings on a day like this, where it's the first official day of the season? By the way, I told you guys for a month you had till May 31st to go to shop local. Could have gotten some savings, but still a great reasonable price.
Oh, it is. It's $85, and now, that's very reasonable for the shows. They're going to see 2 Broadway musicals and 3 other shows. Plus, then they get, if you're a season ticket holder, you get 30 days advance notice, like on everything we do. Like July 1st, our prompter will go out to every season ticket holder, and they will know the exact dates for the Christmas concert, the country concert in February, the studio series, and they have that opportunity to purchase tickets before it hits the public, with PR and things like that.
That's a great incentive, actually, because it seems like those shows too, especially those specialty ones, if it's a good push, people eat those up pretty quick.
Well, and a lot of people don't feel as comfortable driving at night anymore. And so, the Sunday matinees really fill up. And lots of theaters in St. Louis are now doing a Saturday matinee. And we have toyed around with that. We tried it when we did Wizard of Oz, and it was fairly successful. That kind of show that lends itself to family, probably a matinee would work. It's very hard on the actors, particularly if you do Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. It's hard enough to do Saturday night and come back Sunday for call at noon and go, is my voice there?
Well, and that's a whole nother thing that I have never even thought of, especially whenever we were talking about Ding Dong. Kevin had how many lines in that?
Oh, 403. He'll tell you 4,000, but it was 403.
But I'm just thinking, I never even thought about that aspect of keeping your voice in shape, and all of a sudden, you lose that voice. Well, now we got to limp through 403 lines.
And in rehearsals, we don't use microphones. And Spamalot, again, you probably know, it's 25 big show numbers. There's a little dialogue and then another production number. And they're all witty and they're all very physical. And they've changed clothes. And now they're in France and now they're in Scotland and now they're in England. And now they're here.
I'm telling you what, I'm so excited about this musical. And when you told me what it was, I went, wow, this is going to be going out quick. Have people already reached out for tickets yet and all of that? Or are you still waiting to get there?
A little bit, because, again, early bird purchasers got the $5 coupon on. But I'm just now trying to really tell people about this. In fact, last night, the gentleman who plays Patsy, who is King Arthur's horse, don't ask me why they call him Patsy, but he said, did you know that they just did a production at the Kennedy Center in Washington? And I said, yes, as a matter of fact, they were waiting to see if that actor wanted to start a national tour. And the only reason we actually got the rights, because we were going to be done by July 30th, and they're going to start in September. So that is such luck, because we were holding our breath and we were almost set to do something else, because I'm like, we're not going to get it. And I would call every couple of days, and finally he called me at 6:30, New York, and called me at 6:30 and said, guess what? They said yes. And he goes, I love you, but now we won't have to talk every other day. I'm like, okay, great. Just send me the contract.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Talk to you soon.
I'll stop bugging you.
This is so cool. So let me take you guys through this. We'll get you guys prepared a little bit.
Yes.
July 1st, July 2nd, July 26th through the 29th. Those are the dates of Spamalot, correct?
No, July 21st. 21st.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, through the 30th.
What did I say?
The 1st and the 2nd.
Oh, no, July 21st and through the 30th.
Yeah, we actually give people July 4th off that week. If they've done a good job.
You want to stop by and help them with the set.
Yeah, it's 8 performances. If we're totally sold out, we will add a Saturday performance in the afternoon. So I'd love to have that problem. I'll bribe the cast. But, 8 performances.
And then July 23rd and 30th is the matinee performances at 2 p.m. If you want to follow along, altonlittletheater.org is a great website, and
Yes.
you get all the information on the upcoming shows,
And
too.
you guys do a wonderful job. Truly, I just adore Ashley, and she gets me, and she knows how I want things designed, and she's quick, and we just adore her.
So funny thing is, I've done this twice now. Marina was on yesterday. Alt Marina was. Rob Honky comes on and go, man, you have a great website. And he goes, yeah, you guys did it. And I don't do that on purpose. I know these viewers think sometimes I'm trying to give us a plug. I don't know. So I
Well,
guess.
you guys have done our website from the very beginning when we first had it. But, you know, there's a number of people. But I'm like, oh, please keep Ashley. Please keep her happy because she is the best.
You hear that, John?
Yeah.
With that being
I think he knows she's a treasure because we have our TV monitor. She does all the slides for
It's
that.
great.
She helps us with commercials. Yeah, so
I love it.
yeah.
Well, and too, it's just so cool to have all this and really just see
Right.
this, you know, the graphics and really just
Right.
a modern feel for an organization that's 90
Yes.
years old now.
But local support.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
occasionally, yeah, we do. I had to get the cow from Kansas City. There were some things, you know, I have to order, but we try to spend our money back in the community. Now,
Yeah.
royalties get paid to publishing houses in New York and usually Chicago, but I've got, like, I just got off the phone with Michael Madden in California because he's leaving for Maine today, and he's going to sponsor the studio series. He's a playwright, and we're doing his play, but he's not paying us to do his play. He loves that we support local, and he's actually from St. Louis,
Okay.
but we did his first play, and he said, you guys need some help because you don't get funding from the state. Illinois just doesn't have very much arts funding. And so he's like, I just really want to come and support the whole series so that there's 20 young actors who get to be in 3 great shows in 1 month. That's in January of 2024. But we have to plan ahead.
That is incredible, though. That
Yeah.
was. I mean, that is. You can't write a better little bit of a story
Right.
right there. That's amazing.
And there are playwrights all over the country who sometimes they'll send scripts. And Kevin and I used to say, yeah, 9 out of 10 kind of could go by the wayside. But that one little gem, they're. And people will sometimes say, oh, an original show, is it going to be any good? Well, people came to Sex Dogs and the Full Catastrophe and laughed their butts off. So I'm like, we have some local talent,
Yes,
and
we
we
do.
try and use that when we can. I mean,
Yeah.
we know that people like Broadway shows and funny shows and writers
sure.
they know. But occasionally we do try and honor a piece that maybe not everybody knows. The Elephant's Graveyard is one of those plays very few people know. It's a hidden gem, and the author died shortly after it was written, but his estate gave us permission to do that show. So,
Well, that's
because I fell in
incredible.
love with it. I was just out in Asheville, North Carolina, and I saw the show, and I was like, oh, I really, really want to do this.
That's just incredible. And like what you said, I love the fact that you guys don't just, you know, do as I say, not as I do. You guys practice what you preach.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm sure it could be easier to go, you know, find a third party or do, you know, this, that, and the other, but it's all about the community you build up around you, you know?
Absolutely. And we have some other great organizations
yeah.
in town, but we've kind of struggled. We're not, you know, economically on top of things. Nobody is since COVID.
No.
Nobody is.
No.
And I believe if we come back, we come back together. That's sort of been our philosophy.
Mine too.
You know, it's not about being the king of the mountain, but maybe setting the standard. And I do want us to be welcoming and diverse and inclusive, and people come and are safe and have a really good time and a little escape from the humdrum. I mean, this week has been very stressful in the world. I know. I'm a news junkie. You know that. And so I absolutely get outside whenever I can. But when I'm at the theater, then I'm totally immersed in dancing and singing and having
Right.
fun and beautiful costumes. So it's a wonderful escape.
If only, thank God I am not doing that political show. Oh my God,
I
this
can't
week would have been
imagine.
brutal. It would
would
have
have.
been brutal. And,
It would.
And that's what I think, Lee, and I really mean this, is just, it's so cool to know that, you know, you guys really do support, because COVID, we've talked about this, the fact that you guys were even able to manage to stay open, it was a miracle in itself, because I mean, what so many theaters around here closed, and
Yes.
Where it seemed like the industry was almost dismantled here regionally.
Yes.
And for you to come back and just really, I mean, in a couple of short years, it's doing pretty good.
We were very blessed that we have our own home and we take good care of it. And sure, I mean, that 38 people were all we could see with Red Line seating, but they appreciated, they loved it. Yes, they were sitting there in mass for a little while, but they loved the show. And again, for our veterans who are near and dear to my heart, I'm a Vietnam era girl. I lost my first love in Vietnam. And so I worked with many vets over my time. And Memorial Day, the parade and every tradition here in our hometown, I love that because a lot of people don't even get what it's like to have your high school graduation and go right off to war. But see, in 1969, when my husband graduated, we were sweating bullets about whether his number would get called up. And,
I bet.
He had, scholarship to school. Unfortunately, they got within 40 of his number, and he was able to go to college. So,
wow.
But we remember those days, and it's very different now. And I don't want the draft to ever be, instituted again, but I still know we need to have a lot of reverence for the people who did go. They didn't have fun summers.
No. And that's the thing. And that's why on Monday I said we aren't doing a best of show. I called Alton VFW and said for 2 hours, let's talk to all of you guys. And that's what we did. And
good.
Did the parade. But you're right. We have such a really great community. I mean, we support so many different things. And just like I hope all of you guys support Lee Cox this year. And come see me on stage, because I haven't forgotten about that.
No.
I close on a house on the 30th.
I was going to say, now you're going to be working on your house, but I'm going to get you on stage. I
have more. Well, now I can't go out and have as much fun as I used to have.
True, that's true.
Now I got to be on stage to keep me busy. I think we do it. Okay. I haven't forgotten about this. I wanted to ask you, though, before I let you go, as the season starts, day one of the 90th season. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What are you looking at right now at Spam-A-Lot that you're just most excited about? Is it the set? Is it the performers? Is there some music in there? Because the musical pieces, of course, are fantastic. But is there one thing in particular?
I do love the choreographer we're working with, Arsenio Gaines. He is from St. Louis. He's done 5 shows with us. He was a hip hop dancer out in LA, moved back to St. Louis, close to his family, and he has just a lovely sense of humor and a wonderful personality. He's so patient but so clever, and he can teach anyone to dance, anyone. And I love that, how patient and steady he is, because we attract some very good dancers, but it was obvious last night that one could use a little help,
like Steve Miller in The Jerk.
Yeah. But I loved one of our board members, who's also a great dancer. She can tap dance, everything. She said, how about we come early and I will, go over that with you. We're going to make sure that you just feel fun and have fun. And that's what I love, is that it's not a competition. We're here to make sure everybody looks good.
Without a doubt. And with that being said, wanted to bring you some news, too, because we're going to take you behind the scenes a little bit the next time around. I'm really excited about this. And before we talk about that, one last time, the circus, just so people can mark the general ballpark on their calendar.
Saturday evening, August 12th, 7 p.m. And there'll be a lot more information out that, but we just finalized that yesterday.
That is so cool.
And I wanted to do one more thing for the youth, because we don't want to compete with the schools.
No.
We support them. Christy Doring, in fact, at the high school, is going to direct one production for us in the studio series. So we support, but we don't want to compete. Occasionally we have a youth role that we need to fulfill, but usually we call the directors at the school and say, do you have somebody you want to send over and let us read? So the summer, though, is about families and youth at the theater, and I like that tradition.
I just got a couple of texts. I'll read through them. Lee is the best. Can't wait for 90th season. This one from the 314. Season tickets, do they ever go off sale? Do you have to get them before a certain time?
Yes, they will go off sale. Let's see. Beer for Breakfast opens the 15th, so probably whatever, the 24th of September. And then they're off until
done.
March. Yeah.
Okay.
You can buy individual seats, but you can't buy season tickets, and that saves you 40%.
Seriously, you can't be. And by the way, look at you getting some text questions, you know?
Thanks, honey. Thanks for
I love this. Well, the thing is, my computer hasn't been working, so I normally have the text line here, so I had to download the app. So now when I'm talking to people, it looks like I'm not interested, but I'm really just checking the text line. I'm not doing it because I'm bored.
Oh, well, see, you're talking to a former therapist. I always had my phone off, but I always had to, like, look and see if I had an emergency call or something. I know what that's like.
Absolutely. With that being said, Lee, I'm so excited about Monty Python. I'm so excited about the 90th season, and I'm really excited about what's to come. But before I let you guys go and before I let you go, I'm excited to take you a little bit more behind the scenes.
Yes.
With Jared upstairs, we're going to be able to do a little bit more and showcase a little bit more of the theater and grow together, you know? And I'm loving this.
I'm excited about that, and I know you'll love it. And I just think it gives the audience a little bit of a flavor. Because if they say, oh, Monty Python, it is, but it's very witty.
Right.
This has been an evolution. There's been at least 8 different versions of this script, although Eric Idle tries to put everything in everywhere. I'm like, okay, it flies in, how did he do that? But we even have a little bit of audience involvement, the Holy Grail. That's what we're looking for. And some audience member actually ends up having the Holy Grail.
No way.
Yes.
I love it.
And it's written that way, and so we figured out how we would do that. So, and it's part of the shtick of the whole show is then that peasant from the audience has to come up and gets a little prize and everything.
Oh my God, this is great! All I can say is you guys will get an even closer look.
Yes.
In a couple of weeks, I previewed this as Calm Before the Storm because today marks 90 years of being a staple not only in the region, but around. How about that?
in the state, the oldest continuous theater in the state. There's a few who had a charter, Western Springs and Peoria, but they disbanded or they stopped production during the war years.
Gotcha.
And even during COVID. So we've never closed.
Wow.
That's so that
incredible.
Gives us, there's 201 theaters in the entire country who have seen their 100th birthday. Most of them are on the East Coast, the 13 original colonies, of course. But that may sound like a lot, but that's not very many.
No, and that's why it's so cool. And I really can't say that enough. It's so cool to have an institution like your guys is right here in our community and celebrate not just the 90th, how about the 180th too?
Oh, God, that would be... I'll look down from heaven, hopefully, and see that.
Me too, if they let me in.
Yeah.
With that being said, Lee Cox will talk at the last Thursday of the month.
Yes.
And we'll bring you behind the scenes as we kick off the 90th season.
All right.
Celebration playing, but this daily show keeps rolling around the corner here in about a couple of minutes. See you in a few.
Good.